All right, so the Pocket Seed Lab. The idea behind it is that we are going to be growing or essentially germinating pea seeds in these little growth chambers that we make out of paper towel and a plastic bag. So you're going to fold your paper towel. I'll show you the instructions in a little bit. You fold your paper towel, you place it in your plastic bag. You're going to wet this to provide some moisture, and then you're going to place pea seeds within these. And we're going to do a couple different treatments of our pea seeds. So in 2 treatments, we're going to soak our pea seeds overnight. And in 1 treatment, we're going to not soak them. And then in 2 of the treatments, we're going to be watching our peas germinate. We're going to put them under normal light conditions. And in 1, we're going to put them in the dark. And the idea is we want to investigate the effects of soaking our seeds or pre-soaking our seeds before planting, or as well as the effects of germinating our seeds in the light or versus the dark. So we're going to be setting up these treatments. We're going to put our seeds in here, and then we're going to watch them germinate. We get to see the process of germination, and then we're going to take measurements each day. So each day we are going to use a little string and compare it to a ruler, and we are going to measure the length of our radicle of each of our seeds, as well as the length of our shoot. And at the end, after we're going to do this for 14 days, so every day you have to measure each one of your seeds. It goes very quickly, I just did it. And at the end of this process, we're going to have a data set, and we're going to combine all of our data sets, and we're going to be able to analyze and see if there was an effect of pre-soaking our seeds, and if there is a difference, if there's an effect if we germinate under light or in darkness. So that's the overall idea. Step 1, soak your pea seeds. Water, seeds. Soak. Okay, so now we're going to finish setting up our experiment. So we had our pea seeds soaking overnight, and now I arranged everything else that you're going to need. So we need paper towels, we're going to need a little bit of water, you'll need your sandwich bags or quart-size bags, and now cardboard is optional, although I would recommend it because it's going to be better to put these things up at an angle. So you can just scrounge around, find some old cardboard. I used old Milk Bones container, cereal container, and the like, and that should be good. All right, so let me see if I can prop this up. Well, actually, I can do it right here. So first step, you're gonna take your paper towel. You want a full sheet, or in this case, if it comes with these like half sheets, you wanna make sure you got 2. You're gonna fold it in half, and then fold it in half again. Let's see if we can do this one-handed, like so. And then you're gonna take that sheet and you're gonna put it in the sandwich bag. Whoops. Really easy setup here, guys. So that goes in the sandwich bag. Then you're gonna take about 30 to 40 milliliters of water. If you have a measuring cup that has milliliters, you should be good. Really, you don't gotta go too detailed with how much water, although this looks like it's got a leak in it. You don't need to go too detailed. You want enough water to make sure your paper towel is wet, right? All the water's been absorbed, but you don't want really like excess water in there. So play around with it, make sure your paper towel is all wet. There's no excess water sitting in your bag. Then you're gonna take your pea seeds and add them in. So I'm gonna stop this, set this one up, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I added water until my paper towel is moist, if you can see that. Not too saturated in the bag, but the towel is moist. And then I'm gonna add my pea seeds. So for this one, we're gonna do our 3 seeds that we had soaking. All right. So you take your seed and you're gonna put it right there in your bag. You're gonna do, whoops, I should probably be filming that. You want 3 seeds and you want to space them out by about 1 inch or so, because that's gonna let us be able to measure these guys. Right. So you space them out by 1 inch. Then you can seal your bag up. And you're done. All right, so to finish off the setup, once you have your bag done, your seeds in the bag, you can tape your bag to your cardboard that you see here. Just put a little tape on the top, and then you want to write the date, the time, and then what treatment this is. So these are seeds that we soaked overnight, and we're going to be putting them in normal light conditions. So there's one setup right there. I'm going to stop this. I'm going to do the other two, and then we'll place them where they're going to be, and that'll be it. Another little tip here is we're going to be wanting to place these vertically, like so. But given the bag and how the seeds sit, sometimes as soon as you turn it vertically, those seeds run down to the bottom. We don't want that. We want them kind of stationed on in the middle there. So to kind of help with this, you can add a little tape to the sides here and kind of pull the bag, and that kind of presses the bag up against the seeds and helps them maintain their position when you put this vertically. So there are our two treatments set up right there. We have our peas that were soaked, our peas that were not soaked, and they're both going to go under light. I have a artificial light that has a timer, so I'm putting it under there. They're going to get about 12 hours of sunlight or light a day. But for you guys, if you don't have an artificial light, you could just put these out on a windowsill, anywhere where they're going to get some natural light, and that'll be good. And then for our dark treatment, I have them in a cabinet. So you can just put those guys in a cabinet. If you don't have access to that, you can even just wrap the entire thing in tin foil if you needed to. So that is the setup. What we're going to be doing now is every day for about 14 days, you are going to measure the length of the radical or your root and the plumule or your shoot. So starting tomorrow will be day 1 for me, and I'm going to use that string. I'll measure if there's any radical protrusion, the extent of it in millimeters, and then record that on the spreadsheet. And at the end of 14 days, we'll have some results that we can compare. So this is our first day. We've had these guys set up for a day now, and it's time to measure. So on your data sheets, this is going to be the measurement in day 1. And if you look, here are our non-soaked seeds. I'm going to put them down so you can kind of see. Doesn't look like we have any radical protrusion yet, although our seeds did get a lot bigger, right? They soaked in all that water. But if you come here to our soaked seeds, so what we're gonna do, we're still gonna measure these guys. In this case, the measurement is gonna be 0 for everything. Also, a little thing to note, it's gonna get a little foggy here, so you may have to kind of move these around to see if there's anything. But they're going to be 0 for everything. What you guys might want to do is just make sure you know which seed is which. So for me, I'm going to put a little notation that this seed over here is going to be number 1. This one up here is going to be number 2. And this one down here is going to be number 3. So make sure you know which seed is which as this goes along. But those are all getting 0s. For both. Remember, we're measuring both the radical and we're going to measure the shoot length. So there's that. And then if we look at our soaked guys though, you can see that we have the radical protruding from all 3 of them, which is exciting. So there, we're going to do some measurements. So to measure, what we're going to do, it might be hard to see. I might just show you and then I'm going to turn this off and actually do it. But what you want to do is you want a piece of string. Preferably the thinner string would be better. But you take your piece of string, you tie off one end. This is going to be the point that you measure from. So that would be the starting point. So you would find the starting point at your seed. And then you would go to the end of this case, the radical, and you're gonna make a notation with your finger. I don't know if I was able to show that. And then you line it up with your ruler, like so, and you say the measurement. So this, we're gonna do these all in millimeters. So for, so for that first one, you would line up this with the edge, and we're about 1 centimeter, which is 10 millimeters. So that would be, you would write that in on your data sheet. And again, I'm gonna label these. I'm gonna try and keep it all the same, right? So my one on the left is always gonna be number 1. This top one is gonna be number 2. And this bottom one over here is gonna be number 3. So in that case, I did number 2 first. And in my data sheet, I would record that my radical length is 10 millimeters. And I'd put the date and the time. And I'd say there's 0 for our shoot right now. I'm gonna do that for all 3. So I'm gonna do that now. I'm gonna pause this. And just in case you couldn't see in the other video, you can see this better. These are the ones that were in the dark. So in all those, you can see the radical starting to protrude.